All right, I think we'll get started. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Explore Athletics series here at Simpson. Tonight, we're going to offer you an opportunity just to kind of get an in-depth view of our athletic department and some of our different support systems we offer here at Simpson. I mentioned before, feel free to introduce yourself in the chat box. We'd love to hear from you. And if you have any questions, definitely include those in the chat box, and we'll hopefully get to those at the end of the presentation. With us tonight, my name's Jeremy Johnson. I'm Assistant Director of Admissions. We also have Bob Nutgrass, who's our Athletic Director, Dave Cleveland, the Head Track and Field Coach and also Assistant Athletic Director, Cal Busby, who's Director of Athletic Training, and then Craig Conrady and Kennedy Batchelor is our Strength and Conditioning staff. We also will have a couple students at the end talk a little bit more about their student athletic experiences. So feel free to ask questions as we go along. Just kind of a rundown of the agenda tonight. I'm going to talk briefly about some admission stuff. Then we'll talk athletics overview, more about academics, sports medicine, strength and conditioning, those student personal experiences, and then questions and answers at the end. One thing I always like to try to give information to students, and I think is good, is just a little bit more about Simpson. Most of you are probably aware of where we're located. Here at Simpson, we're a liberal arts, private liberal arts school located in Indianola, Iowa. One of the biggest benefits we have as a school is definitely our location. Being only 12 miles south of downtown Des Moines, it definitely holds a lot of advantages for our students, whether it be socially, academically, definitely for internships. And, you know, we mentioned our excellent internships here on this page. One thing you'll find, I think, is a lot of our students really try to get a lot of hands-on experience, work experience while at Simpson. Whether that's a couple different internships, whether that's doing research, they want to make sure they're getting outside the classroom because that can definitely be more valuable many times than just sitting in a classroom listening to a lecture. So we really push that for our students. We have a lot of opportunities that we present for students, whether it's our professors finding those opportunities, our career and counseling services finding those opportunities. It's something we really believe in. We do have over 80 majors and minors at Simpson, and those vary all over the board. Our largest areas of study are anything in the business field, education, elementary or secondary education, criminal justice, some of our science programs, whether it's physical therapy, going into pre-med, some of those are great opportunities too. We do have over 1,200 full-time students here at Simpson. So we have a 12-to-1 student to faculty ratio. What that meant for me being an alum is I really felt comfortable walking into the classroom. I knew a lot of the students in the classroom, but really the most valuable thing is I knew the professor on a first name basis and they knew me. And that's something that I enjoyed as a student because I knew anytime I had questions, I could go knock on a professor's door and they were going to be available and they were going to know me as a person. So I think we really have that family atmosphere, that personalized, individualized attention our professors give is very important. And lastly, and something that's important for all families, is definitely the money when it comes down to financial aid. And at Simpson, we believe in trying to be as affordable as we can for families. We really want to try to meet that affordability. 100% of our full-time students receive some sort of financial aid through scholarships, grants, need-based money. So we work hard to make it affordable. So hopefully at the end of the day, when students start making decisions on colleges, they can decide not based on the money, but what school they like best. And that's hopefully our goal as we go through the process. I know we have juniors and seniors on this call tonight, and just a little bit of what you should be doing next. I encourage all of you, right now we're not able to get on campus for campus visits, but set up an individual virtual visit, have an opportunity to meet with your admissions counselor, meet with faculty. Obviously many of you are interested in athletics in college. Sit down, talk with the coach or some other student athletes. As you go through the process and you start applying this fall, for those of you that will be seniors, it's a great time to reach out to your teachers, coaches, any community leaders to get letters of recommendation. Our application at Simpson is free. It's about a 20-minute process online. And once you've applied, we have students send in their high school transcripts and also their ACT or SAT scores. And any letters of rec, any other additional information is very valuable because at Simpson, we really believe in a holistic attitude when it comes to looking at students' applications. So we look at a lot of things. We look at your test scores, your GPA, your class rank. We look at the classes you've taken. So taking college courses, different things like that is definitely valuable. Our application will be available for the 2021 students will be available in July. So take advantage of that when you get a chance. And lastly, before I turn it over, you know, connect with us on social media. We have a lot of great opportunities through Facebook, Twitter, our Instagram, YouTube. Many of our Explore Simpson series, like tonight's, will be included on our YouTube page. Use the hashtag #OneSimpson. It's the best way to find out the most up-to-date information about Simpson as you're going through this college search process. Now I'd like to turn over to our athletic director, Bob Nutgrass, and he's going to give you an overview of the athletic department, and he will continue on down the presentation. Bob?
Thanks, Jeremy. Yep, thanks, Jeremy. Welcome, everybody, to Simpson College. We're glad you're here with us tonight on this virtual overview of the athletic department. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about a few points to kind of give you a general idea of what is going on at Simpson and what athletics is like at our Division III institution. And then we will have different people talk to you about the 3 different key areas that we have for our athletes. We are an NCAA Division III school, and so that means that we don't have any athletic scholarships, but that we do offer academic scholarships. 98% of the students at Simpson have different types of academic aid that they receive and other types of aid. So that's something that definitely you should look into with your admissions representative in the financial aid office. We are affiliated with the American Rivers Conference, one of the strongest Division III conferences in the country. The men's basketball team at Nebraska Wesleyan was national champions 2 years ago. We've had several national champions in other sports over the last several years. So if you attend Simpson College, you will be attending a school that is in an outstanding conference in the country. If we win the conference tournament, then that gives us an automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. So it's a great opportunity for you to travel to different places of the country. Many of our teams will take trips to Florida, Texas, Arizona, California. The volleyball team was in Hawaii last year. So great opportunity for you to travel with your team and get a great experience while you're getting your degree at Simpson. And also the icing on the cake is to get to participate in the sport that you love. We've got 19 sports, 10 for men and 9 for women. And we also have cheerleading and dance, and we have a shooting club for men and women, and we also have rugby for men and women, as well as over 50 intramural sports during the year. So when you're not in season, you have many opportunities to stay active doing other things within the structure of our intramural department at Simpson College. I'd like to talk to you for a second about expectations. What am I getting into when I go to Division III? And I've got to tell you, it's a step above high school, right? So, you know, you might be one of the best athletes in your school. Well, when you come to Simpson College, you're probably going to be competing against many of the top athletes that were in their school. So I'd like to talk to the first-year students that it's a lot like going in again as like your freshman year in high school. You've got to acclimate yourself to what the coaches are expecting. You've got sophomores, juniors, and seniors that have been on the team already. And so you're competing with those people for spots on your team. But it is just the next level. And because some students feel like, oh, Division III is not Division I, Division II, we still expect a lot of our athletes at Simpson College. You have an in-season, and then you have an opportunity out of your season to participate in strength and conditioning, and also some other workouts that you can have in compliance with the NCAA rules. Expectations on the academic side, again, the next level. So many of you are probably successful students in high school, maybe not reading a whole lot, not studying a whole lot. At Simpson College, we expect you to spend a lot of time out of class, reading and studying, doing assignments. And again, things are just a little bit more difficult, the next level. So not only are you competing at the next level in your sport, it's also an academic level that you got to kind of step up your game a little bit. So that's really important to kind of understand as you come into the Division III setting at Simpson. Eligibility for certification to be in athletics has a couple of different prongs to it. So you've got to be a full-time student, and that's the easy one because for insurance purposes, for your parents, that kind of stuff, you've got to be a full-time college student. And we require you to have 12 credits minimum to be a full-time student. The way that our academic structure is set up, most of our courses at Simpson are 4 credits. So we advise students to be able to try to take 4 classes a semester with 4 credits. That affords you 16 credits a semester. And if you do that every term that you're here, then you'll easily graduate in 4 years with a minimum of 128 credits. So that's kind of the structure. And as you come in the summer to do orientation before your fall semester, you will have a day where you come in and register for classes. So you will have what we call a Simpson Colloquium course, which all freshmen choose a course for an SC class. You will have an upperclassman in that class too, as well as your faculty advisor teaching the course, so that you can kind of bounce ideas off of the upperclassmen in your SC class to kind of understand and orient yourself to life, college life at Simpson. So you will have that course as you come in to register in the fall, and then you will try to choose 3 other courses so that you will have 4 classes in the fall when you come in at 16 credits. So that's how we try to get you started on your academic career at Simpson. Many times students will bring in credits that they've taken in college at the high school. So bringing in those extra credits is just a plus for you to be a little bit ahead of the game as you come in that first year as a first-year student at Simpson. Then as you go through your 4 years at Simpson, you'll work with your academic advisor to make sure that you are a full-time student, that you're making normal progress, and that is basically passing at least 24 credits every year, and that you have to be in good academic standing. And so the NCAA and Simpson College sets a level for you that you have to be above a certain GPA in order to participate in athletics. So those are the things that you need to look at as far as eligibility requirements and kind of a little bit about our academic structure. The one thing that we pride ourselves in here at Simpson are the 3 areas that we think are some of the best at Division III in the country. That's academic support, our sports medicine program, and our strength conditioning program. So we have people that are going to talk to you on those 3 areas. And again, they're awesome opportunities for you to take advantage of when you're here at Simpson College, to make you the best student you can be, to make you the best athlete that you can be, and also make sure that we take care of you health-wise. So I'm going to go ahead and let Coach Cleveland begin talking to you about academics. So Coach Cleveland, take it away. Coach, you're muted.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
Here I am. Thank you, Bob. From an academic standpoint, as a coach here for 15 years, not only do we put a lot of pride in winning conference titles and in sending kids to national competitions, but on top of that, we take as much pride in our academic standings. Like I said, I've been here for 15 years, and in each and every year, our teams, both our men and women's track and field teams, have been academic All-Americans every year as a team. And I think almost every coach in every sport could say that. I think there's a great competition among coaches, not just from a winning standpoint, but also for a grade point standpoint as well. And so take great pride in that. And I would say overall, I think at Simpson, our general student population that are not athletes have above a 3.0 average. But if you take into account our student athletes, they tend to score a little bit higher than that and are definitely have a higher GPA than our regular student body. Most teams are well above a 3-point, typically 3 3s to 3 4s and 3 5s as teams. And so lots of pride, and they know how important it is to be a well-rounded student. Active in a lot of different things on campus, very active, obviously, in the classroom, and then obviously on the playing fields as well. And so one of the things as a freshman coming in, and I think especially for the fall, but I would say for the same thing for spring sports, but we have team mentors. And so each team has a couple of upperclassmen that are assigned to their teams that are there to kind of help our underclassmen, our freshmen, or transfers coming in to that transition from high school to the college. An opportunity to kind of get to know not only your teammates, ask questions, kind of anything that you're having questions about or not understanding when you get on campus. You have somebody that you can bounce things off of. You always have the people that are in your class, the people that are in your SC 101 class that you have that Coach Nutgrass talked about. But one of the main sources of I guess reference would be your teammates. And so not only from a team standpoint in your sport, but just from an academic standpoint, they've been through it all. And so they kind of understand the rigors of being a student athlete on campus. The other part of it is, obviously we have Dunn Library, but part of Dunn Library is dedicated to kind of what we call the center. At the center, it kind of provides resources for students and athletes to get extra help in study habits, tutoring, writing papers, obviously open to all students. But I think, that being on a team does provide you with that extra opportunity to be involved. And what we do is we have study table hours. And so each coach requires their incoming freshmen. I know from a track standpoint, we have at least 5 hours a week. And obviously you should be spending a lot more than 5 hours a week studying. But this allows you 5 hours where you check in, you're accountable, you have an opportunity to check in with your mentors. They kind of monitor that. The coaches have a record of when you were in. We can touch base with you. It's just a kind of an extra safety net for students, especially that first semester when you're trying to, like I said, acclimate and get used to college life. So study table hours is a big one as well. Grade checks. As coaches, we don't want to look over your shoulder all the time. We don't want to be that extra set of parents, but at the same time, we want to provide opportunities to make sure that you are being successful in your classes. And so there's a great relationship between the professors and the coaches. We eat lunch together. We see each other. We talk about our student athletes. They are obviously invested in you and have a personal relationship with you. But from a coach's side of things, we see you on a daily basis as well. And from our athletic trainers and our strength and conditioning personnel, they're spending the most time with you. And so, we want to have that extra set of grade checks for you. And so you have a midterm and you have a final, but in between those two times, we send out grade checks with you to take to class, and your professors kind of know that it's coming. And so they typically will fill that out and just, you'll hand it into your coach, and then we're able to kind of check in on you and just see if you need any extra help in some areas. And so that's just another way of making sure that you're successful academically. And the other part is travel rosters. Depending on your sport, you might be traveling during the week. You might just be traveling on a Friday or on a Saturday. But with that travel and competition comes missed class time. We try to err on scheduling so that we miss the least amount of class time, but inevitably you're going to miss some class time. And so what we try to do is send out a reminder to our professors with a roster that basically says when you're going to be gone and why. And it's your job to kind of check in with those professors and let them know, hey, coach sent this out. I'm going to be gone on Friday afternoon. What am I going to miss? They're going to be able to kind of fill you in, get you caught up, and those kinds of things. And so typically we'll get an email back if I know they're being looked at, because we'll get an email back if we don't have a roster quite right, or we're missing a name, or and so forth. So I know it gets used very well. And so, I feel like we do a really good job of supporting our student athletes. As I said, it's a great system and a great institution where I think what you'll discover is the best part about Simpson is the people. And the framework and the structure that you have to support you all 4 years of your career. And so I'll be around at the end for questions, and our student athletes will be able to talk about their experiences in the sport. And from there, I will move it on to Cal Busby to talk about athletic training and sports medicine.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Dave. Glad to be able to talk to you all tonight. Thanks for joining us. As Dave mentioned, my name's Cal Busby. I'm a professor in the Sports Science and Health Education Department. I teach primarily with our health and exercise science and also our physical education major. So for those students looking at pre-physical therapy, pre-athletic training, pre-chiropractic, a lot of those routes, those are the type of classes that I teach. So in addition to that, serving as a faculty member, I'm also an athletic trainer on staff. And a couple quick points I want to hit. Number one, with our proximity to Des Moines, we have a great support network of physicians. We have a team physician and a team orthopedic surgeon who will come down in the fall every week, see those patients that need to be seen. We have a team chiropractor that comes in once a week. We have also a team physical therapist that will come in and do some different treatments. We have access to a massage therapist. We also have nutritionists and a lot of different kind of ancillary supports that you as student athletes will use and need to help you be at your best. So we have a great network of care. And with that, we really take a patient-centered approach. So, we want to keep you at 100%. But as you've kind of picked up on, Division III athletics is a little bit different beast at times, and those injuries do happen. And so when they do happen, we want to make sure that you have that network and you have that good support system. So there's a staff of 5 athletic trainers at Simpson currently that cover all of our sports, that are there at all our home events, all practices, and we'll do some traveling as well. So you'll have that network for people that are looking out for you and taking care and making sure that your health is the priority. And lastly, with that, communication. We find that the more that you're able to communicate and let us know what's going on, keep us up to date, that really helps us make sure that you stay 100%. So we really want to try and avoid any situation where you kind of let a little injury or a nick or a ding linger for longer than what it should. So we want to make sure that we communicate. And that also works with our communication with our doctors and everyone else. So we have a great resource, a network of resource, I should say, here with sports medicine and athletic training. We want to make sure that you're aware of that and take advantage of that if you need it. So I will also I'll stay through the end of the call if you have any questions about sports medicine, about athletic training, or even from the academic side. As a faculty member, I could talk about advising, and I know there's kind of some questions maybe about college credits and transferring those things. So as an advisor, those are things that I've dealt with, and love to help give you any information that you need. Thanks.
To take it from there, I was introduced, my name is Kennedy Batchelor, and I'm the Assistant Director of Strength and Conditioning here at Simpson. Just a quick background, I was a graduate assistant at William Penn before I came to Simpson, and then also interned at multiple universities. Before I send it to Craig, I'm going to talk about facilities really quick. What's really great about Simpson is that we have multiple facilities that we're able to work on with athletes all times of the day, in the mornings and the afternoons. It's just really about communication. As you can see, communication is a big deal through, all 3 aspects of Simpson. The facilities, we have turf field outside, gyms that we can work in and everything. So we have a lot of teams going at the same time, which really chaotic, but Craig and I work really well together to keep things rolling. Craig?
Hi, like Kennedy said, my name is Craig Conrady. I'm the Director of Strength and Conditioning here at Simpson. A little background on me is I got my master's at University of Northern Iowa. Prior to Northern Iowa, I played baseball at a school in this conference. I interned at multiple universities and high schools like Kennedy did, so we have a lot of knowledge and everything that we share. I'm just going to touch the big thing that sets Simpson apart, strength and conditioning wise, is our access to technology. We're very fortunate for being a Division III school that we have multiple TVs in our weight room that we can hook up with workouts for people to do. We have access to velocity-based training, so seeing how fast the barbell can move. We have force plates. We work with Cal and sports medicine and our academic side to use some of their technologies, what they're teaching in class, and bring it to strength and conditioning. And lastly, the big thing is we use Team Builder software, which is an online mobile app that you get directly to your phone to deliver all your workouts. Kennedy and I put it in, put your sets, reps, everything like that, and you just pull it up on your phone and you have instant access to it right then and there. Like everyone else, Kennedy, I will be on at the end if you guys have questions directly for us or anything. But Jeremy, it's back to you, man.
Thank you, Craig. And as I mentioned before, we have two students who have joined us, two student athletes, Emily Bell and Elliot Meyer. And I'm going to have both of them talk a little bit about their experiences at Simpson from an athlete perspective and just as a student. So Emily, why don't I start with you if you want to join us and talk a little about your experiences.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jeremy. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining this Zoom call. I am a junior here at Simpson. I play softball, majoring in business management in psychology with a minor in health services leadership. I'm president of the Pre-Law Society currently. I am a Culver Fellow, and my first 2 years at Simpson, I competed with the speech and debate team and the mock trial team. So I have a lot of experience on campus with different activities. I'm pretty involved on campus as well as being a student athlete, and that was one of the things that really wanted me to go to Simpson. I am from Colorado. I don't know if I mentioned that. I forgot about that. But I live in Aurora, Colorado, so that's where I am right now. So 10 hours from home in a small school, small town. I was really nervous. I was looking through the chat and saw a lot of you are from out of state, so that's awesome. We do have a larger student population that is out of state than I expected, and so that made me feel a little bit better because I didn't want to be on campus alone on the weekends. And trust me, that's not the case at all. Especially being a student athlete, you have a group of friends that are so close with you that you make right away, and you're able to do activities on the weekend and of course play your sport and do all of these other extracurriculars that come along with Simpson. So like I was saying before, I chose Simpson because I wanted to be involved in a lot of things. I didn't want to just come and be an athlete. Simpson doesn't own me, and I love that. I get to do the things that I want to do, and the coaches are super responsive to our goals because in the end, we're not all going to be professional athletes. So all of the coaches in all of the sports want to develop us to be the best that we can be after college to succeed there. So when it comes to taking internships, doing extra jobs on campus, or you're studying, the coaches are extremely welcoming to allowing you to come late to practice or skip a practice if you have lab. It's all up to you, and that's what I love. The campus community is all driven towards the student and what we want to do with our careers and our time. So just being a student athlete on Simpson's campus is absolutely amazing. We have the best community. Sports support each other. We all go to each other's games. And so it's just very unique, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. So definitely coming from 10 hours away, it's a place that I call home. Along with like athlete or professors, they're very supportive of us as being student athletes, but it's all about communication, just letting them know, hey, I'm gonna miss practice, or hey, can you please give me extra time on this assignment? I have this, and this, but it's about that upfront communication beforehand. So as long as you got that, honestly, it's not easy, but it's not impossible to be in activities, be in clubs, do intramurals, as well as play a sport, and have the education that you want to have. Strength and conditioning is amazing at Simpson for being a D3 school. We have awesome facilities, which is another thing that sold me. And then, of course, our supportive strength team, they have Team Builder and doing these at-home workouts. Because of COVID, we have had the opportunity to continue to grow in our sports facility, so we are able to do those workouts at home and still continue to improve. But overall, I've really enjoyed my experience so far, and I hope you guys can get on campus soon because it's beautiful, and enjoy the rest of your visit. But let us know if you have any questions at the end, and I'll hand it over to Elliot.
Hi everyone, I'm Elliot. I am a junior as well. Apart from being a student athlete, I am involved in residence life on Simpson, and I'm also the student body president of our Student Government Association. So those two activities take up most of my time outside of the classroom and outside of the sport. I'm in track. I'm in track and field as a hurdler right now. Probably necessary to say as an athletic conference call right now. And I have never found a time where athletics has impeded my abilities to do anything outside of the classroom or even within classroom. And I think that's just a testament to how well communication, as we've said numerous times on this call already, how connected the entire campus is and how much communication is really taking place. I've had a lot of experiences at Simpson that I would never have had the ability to do anywhere else. So I'm eternally thankful for that. And really pleased with the amount of stuff that I've been able to do in addition to what I planned on doing, which was track and field. And the track and field team has been instrumental in that as well. And many of my relationships and friendships that I've developed at Simpson are a direct result of track and field. That's another part that I'm really thankful for. And I think that that's not a unique experience, as Emily, I'm sure, can attest to, as well as so many friends I found, both on the track field and then outside as well. It's just a super great community. I've been super thankful for that. So that's basically a little bit about me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out again through the chat. And yeah, thank you very much. Have a nice time on the rest of your visit.
Thank you, Elliot. And I know I had mentioned before, but if you have questions, feel free to put them in our chat box. Dave, have we had any questions right now? I know you've answered a few on the chat.
Yeah, the one question that we did have was just about, do college credits that you earned in high school, do they transfer in, or is there a maximum number that you're allowed? And the answer to that is no, there's no maximum. Essentially, any college credit that you earned at a C or above in high school is going to come in. We would just need an actual transcript from that institution sent in to us, and then we'll help map that out to show you exactly how that class will transfer in. So does it come in as a elective? Does it come in as the actual course? How many credits is it worth? So on and so forth.
Other questions out there? Feel free to fire some questions to us. Obviously, if you think of questions after this, anyone that was on this or any of your admissions counselors, you can always reach out to them also. But we'd love to answer a few questions here.
I'd like to add to what Dave said about the transfer credits. I mentioned before that when you come in for your orientation day in June, if that will happen this year for us, that you will actually get to meet your professor that teaches your class, your SC 101 course. And so that professor will sit down with you and they will have done a transcript read on what you've done and an analysis on that, so that you won't take any classes that you've already had. So they'll sit down with you, make sure if you brought in some credits that you'll be able to move on with the courses that you need instead of taking something that you've already taken. So they do a really nice job of doing a transcript evaluation on those credits that you bring in. So that's really good.
Thank you, Bob. Well, just a couple other things I'd like to mention, and if we have questions, we'll still take them. But as I mentioned before, I encourage all of you, especially when campus gets back up and we're able to get on campus, come for a campus visit. You know, come later this summer, this fall. We'd love to have you on campus, give you a chance to tour campus, meet with those faculty members, meet with those coaches that you're interested in. You know, have lunch at Simpson, meet with students. It's a great way to really learn more about the college. But lastly, you know, stay connected with us. Check out all of our social media platforms. It's a great way to learn more about Simpson. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. I want to thank Bob, Dave, Cal, Kennedy, Craig, Elliot, Emily. I think I hit everyone. Oh, and another Dave. And I want to thank all of you for joining us and helping us out tonight. You know, we'd love to, you know, tell you more about Simpson. So reach out to us, reach out to your admissions counselor. But everyone have a great night. we're going to sign off here, but, stay healthy out there. Thank you.
Real quick, we had one more question come in.
Okay.
Question there.
So the question was, when does the preseason start for fall sports? And coaches, you can chime in, but it really depends on the sport. I think football comes in about 3 weeks before the other non-student athletes move in. Soccer is about 2 weeks. Volleyball is about 2 weeks. And then cheer, tennis, all is about a week and a half, 2 weeks as well.
Yeah, that's correct. As far as our schedule goes for this fall, football would be coming in around August 13th, and then soccer and volleyball would be coming in about August 19th. And then cross country, tennis teams, the women's tennis come in on the Sunday before school, which I believe is around the 24th or 25th this year. So the NCAA will dictate that, but those are the dates around when fall sports would be coming in.
We did get another question just about, obviously, with a lot of juniors have not been able to take the ACT. So question was, what if we haven't been able to take the ACT yet? And I think we mentioned this a little earlier. We do have a test optional pathway. So if you happen to be a student with a 3.25 or higher GPA, you can apply without sending in your ACT or SAT test score. And we really are focused on your GPA when it comes to awarding your scholarship in the first place. So that's going to give us be a better indicator to us as to what kind of student you've been and how well you could potentially succeed at Simpson versus that ACT. Obviously, if you haven't been able to take it, you still want to take it because that may open a few additional doors as far as admissions or financial aid with some other institutions. But just know at Simpson, we do have that test optional pathway for the students with a 3.25 or higher. Any other questions?
Seniors, congratulations on getting through your year this year. It was a really tough spring. I screw up some of your states. You didn't get to do spring athletics, so it was really difficult, but congratulations on graduation. We'd love to have you come visit Simpson College and be an athlete here and part of our athletic family. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.